So, yep, City up next against Watford in the EFL Cup. 49-hour gap between the end of City's draw with Arsenal and the 7:45 kickoff against Watford. That's modern football for you now with all these competitions. Watford beat Wayne Rooney's Plymouth 2-0 in the second round, and they come into this game after losing 4-1 away at Norwich in the Championship last weekend. Guardiola suggested last week, I think, well, before the Arsenal game, I think it was that um, anyone that played in that Arsenal game, presumably those that played a significant chunk of that match, would not be involved or at least not start due to the quick turnaround. So, wholesale changes are to be expected. And now the likes of Stones and Grealish and maybe Foden as well, who played 20 minutes or less, may have
Yeah.
a chance of being involved. But who else do you expect maybe to feature? Do you expect a number of academy players to come into the first team?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a lot of academy players that have been around the first team that have the sufficient quality. I mean, I think McAtee, of course, he's an academy player, but he's a Premier League footballer, so he's obviously going to start. Nico O'Reilly played a lot in pre-season. You've obviously played the Community Shield game. I think he would probably play. Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, a left back that I thought would probably leave on loan, hasn't left the club yet, so I presume he'll probably start left back because you've got no choice. Vardy cannot play again, and Nathan Ake's out. And Wilson-Esbrand did get better. He started pre-season friendlies really poorly, but improved the more he played. So I think there's a little bit of quality there. And he's played championship football. So he's definitely got, enough quality to play in a game like this. John Stones, you think will start. Rico Lewis will start. Mateus Nunes, you think is an almost a lock. I wouldn't be surprised if Kovacic plays again because we're probably just going to need him. And other than that, Grealish, Foden, Ortega will probably get a start as well in goal. And it's sort of going to be something like that, really. There's, it's weird because Guardiola has a trend of only really using academy players that he's looked at in pre-season. He doesn't really tend to just obviously there's exceptions, but usually he picks from a pool of players that he's worked with. And the pool this season is quite small because a lot of them left the club or went on loan. Michael Hamilton went to Middlesbrough. Callum Doyle obviously went on loan to Norwich, doing really well there. So there's quite a few players who've gone. So all we've been left with is like 17-year-olds because City play a young under 23 side. So I think it's going to fall on a couple of senior players to play again, which is not ideal after a game like that. But I don't think we've really got much choice, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think another shout maybe is a 18-year-old Jacob Wright who's made a great start into the
Yeah,
Premier League Two. He's got contributed to 5 goals in just 3 games, 2 goals and 3 assists. So he's
yeah,
possibly in with a shout coming in as well.
really composed and fielder. He gets compared to Jorginho a fair bit at City. I forgot about him to be fair. Yeah, and yeah. Experienced Guardiola really likes him. He's been around the team an awful lot. So definitely potentially him.
Yeah, and you mentioned McAtee. Then we spoke last week about who could maybe replace Haaland if he's rested or injured or suspended, whatever. And you suggested that James McAtee could maybe be deployed in a false nine role. Do you think just stick with that? Do you think he may play in games like against Watford on Tuesday?
Yeah, almost certainly. I mean, he's almost bound to. We have no choice, and it's the kind of games that he should be playing, even if we did have a choice. I was actually thinking yesterday at some point, God, even him on the pitch would have been better than Diaz taking 25 shots, yesterday because McAtee is a highly technical, brilliant little playmaker. So look, I understand why you wouldn't do it in a game of that magnitude, but I was sat there thinking, wish we had someone like him on the pitch now, and we do have people like that, but him further away. So McAtee is brilliant, and I'm hoping, these enforced changes and that the fact that we're in 3 or 4 days gives the likes of McAtee and whatever to make a bit of a stake for more regular involvement. Because he's a really gifted footballer, and he's one of Guardiola sort of convinced to stay. He'd been on loan twice, of course, Sheffield United for 2 seasons, and there's a sort of feeling largely that if you've been on loan away from City, you probably don't come back into the team because it's sort of the standards are so high. But Guardiola really likes McAtee, and City really rate McAtee, and I think Guardiola has been very complimentary about what he could have learned playing for a relegation battling team in the Premier League because he said, and I'm paraphrasing, it sort of makes a man of you.